Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Artificial Fluency Podcast. I'm Mia Johnson, and I'm absolutely delighted you've joined me today for a very special episode designed specifically for A2 and B1 learners. Today's episode is called Build Perfect English Listening Skills, and that's exactly what we're going to accomplish together. If you're at the A2 or B1 level, you probably understand basic English quite well. But you might struggle when people speak quickly, use idioms, or have conversations with multiple speakers. That's completely normal. And today, we're going to work on those exact challenges. What makes this episode different from beginner content is that I'll be speaking at a more natural pace. Not too fast, but closer to how English speakers actually talk. We'll also explore more complex vocabulary, longer conversations, and situations that require you to understand context and implied meaning. Over the next hour, we'll practice 5 key areas that will dramatically improve your listening skills. First, we'll master everyday conversations with natural speech patterns, including contractions and connected speech. Then we'll tackle workplace English, meetings, phone calls, and professional discussions. Next, we'll explore social situations like parties and group conversations where multiple people speak. After that, we'll practice problem-solving conversations, where you need to understand complaints, explanations, and solutions. Finally, we'll work on understanding stories and narratives with past tenses and descriptive language. Each segment will challenge you progressively. You'll hear conversations at near natural speed, learn advanced vocabulary in context, and develop strategies for understanding English even when you don't catch every single word. My approach today is to help you become a strategic listener. Instead of trying to understand every word, you'll learn to focus on key information, use context clues, and feel confident even when you miss some details. This is how native speakers actually listen. They don't catch everything either, but they understand the essential meaning. Are you ready to take your listening skills to the next level? Let's dive in and build those perfect English listening skills together. Let's start with natural, everyday conversations. At the A2/B1 level, it's time to move beyond textbook English and start understanding how people really speak. This includes contractions, linking words together, and the natural rhythm of English. Listen to this conversation between two friends making plans for the weekend. Pay attention to the natural flow, contractions, and how they build on each other's ideas. Hey, Sarah, what are you up to this weekend? I was thinking we could finally check out that new art gallery downtown that everyone's been talking about. Oh, that sounds fantastic. I've been meaning to go there for weeks. What time are you thinking? I've got a yoga class Saturday morning, but I'm free afternoon. Perfect. How about we meet around 2 p.m.? We could grab lunch first at that little cafe next to the gallery, then spend the afternoon looking at the exhibitions. I love that idea. I heard they have a really interesting contemporary art section. Plus, I read online that they're featuring some local artists this month. Even better! I always prefer supporting local talent. Should we invite anyone else, or do you think it'll be more fun just the two of us? What about Emma? She's always posting art stuff on Instagram, so I think she'd really enjoy it. Plus, she knows a lot about different art styles. Great idea. I'll text her later today. Oh, and I should probably check if we need to buy tickets in advance. Some galleries require reservations these days. Good thinking. I can look that up right now on my phone. Let me see. Okay, it says here that weekend visits are recommended to book ahead, especially for groups. Perfect. Why don't you book for 3 people at 2 p.m. and I'll handle organizing lunch? There's a really cozy place called the Garden Cafe right next door. Sounds like a plan. This is going to be such a nice break from work. I've been so stressed lately with the new project. Excellent. Let's analyze what made this conversation sound natural and how you can improve your listening skills for similar discussions. First, notice the contractions and connected speech, like, what are you up to? Instead of, what are you up to? And I've been meaning to, instead of, I have been meaning to, and they're featuring, instead of, they are featuring. This is how English speakers naturally compress language. The conversation also showed natural topic development. They started with weekend plans, moved to specific details about time and location, then expanded to include another friend, and finally covered practical arrangements like tickets and reservations. Key vocabulary from this conversation. What are you up to? A casual way to ask what someone is doing or planning. Check out. To visit or examine something, usually for the first time. Everyone's been talking about. Something that's popular or well-known among people. I've been meaning to. Something you've wanted to do but haven't done yet. Contemporary art. Modern art, usually from recent decades. Local talent. Artists or creative people from the same area. In advance. Before the actual time, ahead of time. Good thinking, a way to complement someone's smart idea. Sounds like a plan. Agreement with suggested arrangements. Now let's check your understanding. Question 1. When is Sarah free on Saturday? Afternoon, because she has yoga in the morning. Question 2. Where do they plan to have lunch? The Garden Cafe, which is next to the art gallery. Question 3. Who do they want to invite? Emma, because she knows about art and posts art content on Instagram. Question 4. Why might they need reservations? Weekend visits are recommended to book ahead, especially for groups. Now let's practice with a slightly more challenging conversation about planning a surprise party. Notice how the speakers interrupt each other naturally and build on ideas. Okay, so I've been thinking about Jake's surprise party. We need to figure out the guest list, the food, and most importantly, how to keep it a secret from him. Right. For the guest list, I think we should invite people from work plus his college friends. That's probably around 20 people. Do you think your apartment can handle that many people? It'll be tight, but I think we can make it work if we move some furniture around. What about food? Should we order pizza or do something more fancy? Well, knowing Jake, he'd probably prefer pizza and beer over fancy food. He's pretty casual about these things, but we should get a proper birthday cake. Absolutely. I know this amazing bakery that does custom cakes. They could probably write something funny on it. You know how Jake loves the silly jokes? Perfect. Now, the tricky part. How do we get him to your place without suspecting anything? He's pretty observant. I've got an idea. What if I tell him I need help moving some heavy boxes? He's always willing to help people out, and he won't think it's suspicious. That's a brilliant idea. And I can text everyone to arrive by 6 p.m., then you can bring Jake around 6:30. That gives us time to hide all the cars and get everyone ready. Great plan. I'm so excited about this. Jake's going to be completely shocked. He mentioned last week that he thought everyone had forgotten his birthday. Aw, that makes this even more special. He deserves a great celebration. Should we coordinate decorations too? This conversation demonstrated several important listening skills for A2B1 learners. Collaborative planning language. Notice phrases like, we need to figure out, should we, and what if? These show how English speakers work together to solve problems. Expressing preferences. He'd probably prefer pizza over fancy food. Shows how we talk about what people like or want. Problem-solving dialogue. The conversation moved through identifying challenges, space, secrecy, and brainstorming solutions. New vocabulary. Figure out. To solve or determine something. Handle. To manage or deal with a situation. It'll be tight. There will be just enough space, but it might be crowded. Proper. Appropriate or correct for the situation. Custom. Made specifically for someone. Personalized. Observant. Someone who notices details. Suspicious. Feeling that something unusual is happening. Coordinate. To organize or arrange together. These conversations show how English speakers naturally interact. They interrupt politely, build on ideas, and work together to make plans. Now, let's move into workplace English, which requires more formal language while still maintaining natural conversation flow. At the A2 to B1 level, you need to understand professional discussions, meetings, and workplace problem solving. Listen to this team meeting where colleagues are discussing a project timeline and handling some challenges. Pay attention to the professional vocabulary and how they express agreement, disagreement, and suggestions diplomatically. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining today's project update meeting. I want to review where we stand with the Morrison client proposal and address some concerns that have come up. Thanks, Jennifer. I have to say, I'm a bit worried about the timeline. The client wants the complete marketing strategy by next Friday, but we're still waiting for the budget approval from their finance team. That's definitely a challenge. However, couldn't we prepare two versions of the strategy? One for their current budget estimate and another for a higher budget scenario? That way, we're ready either way. That's an interesting approach, Mike. What would that mean for our workload this week? It would require some extra hours, probably about 10 additional hours of work across the team, but I think it's better to be overprepared than to miss the deadline. I appreciate Mike's suggestion, but I'm concerned about the quality. If we're rushing to create two versions, we might not give either one the attention it deserves. Both of you make valid points. What if we focus on creating one excellent strategy based on their most likely budget, but include optional add-ons for additional funding? That could give us the best of both approaches. I like that compromise, Sarah. It addresses the timeline concern while maintaining quality standards. How does that sound to everyone? I can work with that approach. It actually might make the presentation more flexible and impressive. Agreed. And if we organize the add-ons properly, it could demonstrate our thorough understanding of their business needs. Excellent. Let's move forward with Sarah's suggestion. Mike, can you have the core strategy framework ready by Wednesday? And Lisa, could you start developing the optional components? Absolutely. I'll prioritize the essential elements first. No problem. I'll have the framework draft ready for review by Wednesday afternoon. That was an excellent example of professional workplace communication. Let me highlight the key elements that make workplace English effective. Professional meeting structure. Notice how the leader opened with the purpose, team members presented challenges, and the group worked towards solutions collaboratively. Diplomatic language for disagreement. Instead of saying, "That's wrong," the marketing strategist said, "I appreciate Mike's suggestion, but I'm concerned about..." It maintains professional relationships while expressing different opinions. Solution-oriented thinking. Each person didn't just present problems, they also suggested solutions or alternatives. Important workplace vocabulary. Where we stand. The current status or situation of a project. Address concerns. To discuss and try to solve problems or worries. Budget approval. Official permission to spend money on a project. Scenario. A possible situation or outcome. Workload. The amount of work that needs to be done. Over-prepared. Having prepared more than necessary. Better than under-prepared. Valid points. Good, reasonable arguments or ideas. Compromise. A solution where everyone gives up something to reach agreement. Framework. The basic structure or outline of something. Prioritize. To put things in order of importance. Let's check your understanding. Question 1. What's the main challenge with the Morrison project? They need to deliver the marketing strategy by next Friday, but they're still waiting for budget approval. Question 2. What was Mike's initial suggestion? To prepare 2 versions, one for the current budget and one for a higher budget. Question 3. Why was Lisa concerned about Mike's idea? She worried that rushing to create 2 versions might affect the quality of both. Question 4. What compromise did Sarah suggest? Focus on one excellent strategy based on the most likely budget, but include optional add-ons for additional funding. Now, let's practice with a phone conversation between a customer service representative and a client. Phone calls are particularly challenging because you can't see facial expressions or body language. As customer service. Good afternoon. This is Rebecca from Tech Solutions Customer Support. I understand you're having some issues with your software installation? As client. Yes, thank you for calling back. I've been trying to install the update for 2 days now, but it keeps failing at about 60% completion. It's really affecting my work productivity. I completely understand how frustrating that must be, especially when it's impacting your work. Let me walk you through some troubleshooting steps that usually resolve this type of installation issue. I appreciate that. I should mention that I've already tried restarting my computer and running the installation as administrator, as suggested on your website. That's good. Those are definitely the first steps I would have recommended. Since you've already tried those, let's check if there might be a conflict with your antivirus software. Sometimes security programs can interfere with installations. Oh, I hadn't considered that possibility. How do I check for conflicts? I can guide you through it step by step. First, could you tell me which antivirus program you're currently using? I'm using Norton Security. It's the full version, not just the basic one. Perfect. That helps me give you specific instructions. Norton sometimes blocks installations that it doesn't recognize immediately. Let's temporarily disable the real-time protection while we run the installation. Is that safe to do? I don't want to expose my computer to viruses. It's perfectly safe for a short period, especially since you'll only be installing our certified software. The process should take less than 10 minutes, and then you can re-enable the protection immediately. All right, that sounds reasonable. Can you walk me through the steps? This phone conversation demonstrated several crucial business communication skills. Acknowledging customer frustration. The representative said, "I completely understand how frustrating that must be," before offering solutions. Active listening. The representative noted what the client had already tried and built on that information. Clear explanations. Technical concepts were explained in simple terms that a non-expert could understand. Addressing concerns. When the client worried about security, the representative provided reassurance with specific details. Key phone communication vocabulary. Walk you through, to explain step by step. Troubleshooting, finding and fixing problems. Conflict, when two programs interfere with each other. Interfere with, to disrupt or prevent something from working properly. Step by step, one instruction at a time. Temporarily disable, to turn off for a short time. Real-time protection, security that works continuously. Exposed to put at risk of. Certified, officially approved and safe. Re-enable, to turn back on. Notice how professional phone conversations require extra verbal confirmation since you can't see if someone understands. This is why the representative frequently checked, "Does that make sense?" or "Are you following the steps okay?" Now, let's tackle social situations and group conversations. These can be challenging because multiple people speak, topics change quickly, and there's often humor, cultural references, and overlapping dialogue. Listen to this conversation at a birthday party where four friends are catching up. Pay attention to how they interrupt each other naturally, share stories, and build on each other's comments. I'm so glad everyone could make it tonight. How long has it been since we were all together like this? It must be at least 6 months. Remember the last time was at Sarah's housewarming party and Tom spilled wine all over her new carpet? Oh, don't remind me. Although, to be fair, that stain actually adds character to the living room now. Hey, I offered to pay for professional cleaning. It's not my fault you said it was fine and then complained about it for weeks. You two are still arguing about that. Some things never change. Speaking of changes, though, Sarah, how's the new job going? It's been quite an adjustment, actually. The company culture is so different from my last place. Everyone's much more collaborative, which I love, but the pace is definitely more intense. Intense how? Like longer hours or just more pressure? Both, really. We have these sprint cycles where everything happens really fast, then a brief recovery period. It's exhausting, but also exciting. That sounds like the tech industry in general these days. My company's been pushing for faster delivery times, too. Sometimes I wonder if we're sacrificing quality for speed. That's such a good point. I've been reading about this in business magazines. Companies are obsessed with being agile and responsive, but maybe they're losing sight of what actually matters to customers. Exactly. And don't even get me started on all these corporate buzzwords. Yesterday, my boss used synergized 3 times in one meeting. I had to bite my tongue to keep from laughing. Oh my God, yes. We have ideation sessions and blue sky thinking workshops. I just want to say brainstorming meeting, but apparently that's not fancy enough anymore. You know what? Let's make a pact right now. No corporate jargon at social gatherings. We're here to relax and actually communicate like human beings. I love that idea. To real conversations and authentic friendships. This social conversation demonstrated several important group communication patterns. Natural topic transitions. The conversation flowed from greetings to shared memories, then to current life updates, work discussions, and finally to a collaborative agreement. Interruptions and overlapping. Notice how people jumped in with related comments or questions without formal turn-taking. Shared experiences. The friends referenced common memories and agreed on shared frustrations about work culture. Humor and bonding. They teased each other affectionately and found humor in work situations. Key social conversation vocabulary. How long has it been? A question about time that's passed since an event. To be fair, a phrase used to present a balanced or more accurate perspective. Adds character, makes something more interesting or unique, often said about flaws. Some things never change, a comment about people's consistent behavior patterns. Quite an adjustment, a significant change that requires adaptation. Company culture, the attitudes, values, and behaviors typical of a workplace. Sprint cycles, short, intense periods of focused work, from software development. Sacrificing quality for speed, choosing to work faster at the expense of doing better work. Corporate buzzwords, business jargon, or trendy professional terminology. Bite my tongue, to stop yourself from saying something you want to say. Blue sky thinking, creative thinking without limitations. Corporate jargon. Make a pact, to make an agreement or promise together. Let's check your understanding. Question 1. When was the last time the friends were all together? At Sarah's housewarming party about 6 months ago. Question 2. How does Sarah describe her new job's company culture? More collaborative than her last place, but also more intense with a faster pace. Question 3. What does Tom worry about in his industry? That companies might be sacrificing quality for speed. Question 4. What corporate buzzword does Jake's boss overuse? Synergize. He used it 3 times in one meeting. Now let's practice with a more challenging group conversation at a restaurant where friends are deciding what to order. Notice how they negotiate, make suggestions, and handle different preferences. Looking at menu. This menu is overwhelming. There are so many options. What's everyone in the mood for? Decisive. I'm definitely getting the fish tacos. I've heard they're amazing here. But I'm tempted by the pasta special too. Health conscious. I was thinking about the grilled chicken salad, but honestly, I've been eating so healthy lately that I kind of want to indulge tonight. Practical. Why don't we order a variety of things and share? That way we can try multiple dishes without committing to just one. That's a brilliant idea. I love trying different flavors. Should we get an appetizer too? Definitely. The calamari looks good. Or we could go with the cheese board if people want something lighter. I vote for the calamari. I haven't had good fried squid in ages. Calamari it is. Now for main courses. If we're sharing, should we avoid ordering the same type of cuisine? Good point. I was considering the steak, but if Kelly gets fish tacos, maybe I should choose something completely different. Actually, you know what? I'm changing my mind. The risotto sounds incredible, and it would be perfect for sharing. Perfect. So we'll have risotto, fish tacos from someone else, and I think I'll go with the lamb. That gives us variety. And I'll get the vegetarian pasta, so we have something for different dietary preferences. This is going to be such a feast. This restaurant conversation showed advanced social negotiation skills. Collaborative decision-making. The group worked together to find a solution that satisfied everyone's desires to try multiple dishes. Flexibility and compromise. Kelly changed her original choice to better fit the group's sharing plan. Consideration for others. Nina thought about including vegetarian options for different dietary needs. Key restaurant and social vocabulary. Overwhelming. Too many choices, difficult to decide. In the mood for. What you feel like eating or doing right now. Tempted by. Attracted to something, considering it. Indulge. To allow yourself something special or less healthy. Committing to. Choosing definitely without changing your mind. I vote for. My preferences, I choose. In ages, for a very long time. Cuisine, style of cooking from a particular country or region. Considering, thinking about choosing. Changing my mind, deciding differently than before. Dietary preferences, food choices based on health, religion, or personal beliefs. Feast, a large, special meal with many dishes. These social situations require you to follow multiple speakers, understand implicit meanings, and pick up on social cues, all essential skills for natural English communication. Now let's work on problem-solving conversations and handling complaints. These situations require you to understand not just the facts, but also emotions, causes, and solutions. They're common in customer service, but also in daily life when things go wrong. Listen to this conversation where a hotel guest is discussing an issue with their room. Pay attention to how the problem is explained, how the staff member responds, and how they work toward a solution. Excuse me, I'm staying in room 315, and I'm afraid there are several issues I need to discuss with someone. Of course, I'm sorry to hear you're experiencing problems. I'm Jennifer, the front desk manager. Could you please tell me what's happening? Well, first of all, the air conditioning in my room isn't working properly. It's either too hot or too cold, with no comfortable middle setting. Additionally, there seems to be a problem with the shower. The water pressure is extremely weak. I sincerely apologize for these inconveniences. Those are definitely not the standards we want to maintain. Let me see what I can do to resolve this immediately. I appreciate that. I should also mention that when I called the front desk about these issues yesterday evening, I was told someone would look into it, but nothing has been done yet. That's completely unacceptable, and I take full responsibility for the lack of follow-through. Let me check our maintenance records to see what happened. A pause as she checks computer. I can see that a work order was created, but unfortunately, it appears our maintenance team was overwhelmed with other urgent repairs yesterday. That's no excuse, however, for not communicating with you, however. I understand that these things happen, but I'm here for a business conference, and I really need a comfortable room to prepare for my presentations. Absolutely, and we're going to make this right immediately. I have two options for you. I can move you to a suite on the 7th floor with perfect climate control and excellent water pressure, or I can have our head maintenance technician personally address your room within the next hour. The suite sounds ideal, actually. Would there be any additional charge for upgrading? Not at all. The upgrade is completely complimentary due to the inconvenience you've experienced. I'll also arrange for our housekeeping team to transfer your belongings while you're at your conference. That's incredibly generous. I really appreciate how you've handled this. It's absolutely our pleasure to ensure your stay meets your expectations. I'll also make sure you receive a credit for last night's accommodation, and please don't hesitate to contact me directly if you need anything else. This complaint resolution conversation demonstrated several important communication strategies. Professional complaint language. The guest presented problems clearly without being aggressive or rude. Active listening and acknowledgement. The manager listened carefully and acknowledged the problem seriously. Taking responsibility. Instead of making excuses, the manager took full responsibility for the lack of follow-through. Offering multiple solutions. The manager provided options, giving the guest control over the resolution. Going beyond minimum service. The complimentary upgrade and credit showed exceptional customer service. Important problem-solving vocabulary. I'm afraid there are several issues. A polite way to introduce problems or complaints. Experiencing problems. Having difficulties with something. Additionally, also, furthermore, formal way to add information. Extremely weak, very poor, much less than expected. Sincerely apologize, a formal, genuine apology. Inconveniences, problems that cause difficulty or discomfort. Look into it, to investigate or examine a problem. Completely unacceptable, totally not satisfactory. Take full responsibility. Accept complete blame for something. Lack of follow-through, not completing promised actions. Work order, an official request for maintenance or repairs. Overwhelmed with, having too much of something to handle properly. Make this right. to fix a problem or correct a mistake. Complimentary, free of charge, no cost. Let's check your understanding. Question 1. What were the two main problems with the hotel room? The air conditioning wasn't working properly, and the shower had extremely weak water pressure. Question 2. Why hadn't the problems been fixed after the guest called yesterday? The maintenance team was overwhelmed with other urgent repairs. Question 3. What two solutions did the manager offer? Moving to a suite on the 7th floor, or having the head technician fix the current room within an hour? Question 4. What additional compensations did the manager provide? A complimentary upgrade, housekeeping transfer of belongings, and a credit for the previous night. Now let's practice with a different type of problem-solving conversation, someone calling tech support about their internet connection. This involves more technical vocabulary and troubleshooting steps. As customer, "Hi, I'm calling because my internet has been extremely slow for the past 3 days. I work from home, so this is really affecting my ability to do my job properly." As tech support, "I'm sorry to hear about your connectivity issues. That must be very frustrating when you're trying to work. Let me gather some information to help diagnose the problem. Are you experiencing slow speeds on all your devices or just specific ones? It's happening on everything, my laptop, my phone, even my smart TV when I try to stream videos. Everything takes forever to load." That suggests the issue is with your main internet connection rather than individual devices. Can you tell me what internet speed package you're currently subscribed to? I believe it's the 100 megabit package, which has always been more than sufficient for my needs until this week. Perfect. That should definitely handle your work requirements. Let's run a quick speed test to see what you're actually getting. Could you go to speedtest.net on your computer and tell me the results? Okay, I'm running the test now. It's showing 12 megabits download and 3 megabits upload. That's much lower than what I'm paying for. You're absolutely right. Those numbers are significantly below what you should be receiving. This indicates there's likely a signal issue. Are you connected via Wi-Fi or Ethernet cable? I'm using Wi-Fi. Should I try connecting directly with a cable? That's an excellent troubleshooting step. A direct connection will help us determine if the problem is with your Wi-Fi network or the main internet signal. Could you try that? Okay, I'm connected with the Ethernet cable now, running the test. This is much better. I'm getting 95 megabits download and 25 upload. Excellent. That confirms your internet service is working properly, so the issue is with your Wi-Fi setup. This is actually good news because it's easier to fix. The problem could be interference, router placement, or the router itself. This technical support conversation demonstrated important troubleshooting communication. Systematic problem solving. The technician gathered information methodically to identify the root cause. Clear explanations. Technical concepts were explained in understandable terms. Collaborative approach. Both the customer and technician worked together to test different solutions. Key technical vocabulary. Connectivity issues. Problems with internet or network connections. Diagnose the problem, to identify what's causing an issue. Speed package, the internet speed plan you pay for. More than sufficient, adequate, enough for your needs. Handle your requirements, be capable of supporting what you need. Significantly below, much less than expected. Signal issue, problem with the internet connection strength. Ethernet cable, direct wired internet connection. Wi-Fi network, wireless internet connection. Troubleshooting step, an action taken to identify or fix problems. Interference, something blocking or disrupting the signal. Router placement, where your internet equipment is positioned. Root cause, the main source of a problem. Notice how both conversations followed a similar pattern. problem identification, investigation, solution options, resolution. This structure helps you follow problem-solving conversations more effectively. For our final segment, let's work on understanding stories and narratives. This includes personal anecdotes, news stories, and longer descriptions that use various past tenses, descriptive language, and sequential events. Listen to this story about a travel adventure that didn't go as planned. Pay attention to how the speaker uses different past tenses, describes emotions, and creates a narrative arc. I have to tell you about the most ridiculous travel experience I had last month. I was supposed to fly from New York to London for a work conference, and absolutely everything that could go wrong did go wrong. It all started at 5 a.m. when my alarm didn't go off because there had been a power outage during the night. I woke up naturally at 6:30, which meant I had exactly 1 hour to get to the airport for an international flight. I was rushing around the apartment, throwing things into my suitcase, when I realized I couldn't find my passport anywhere. I was frantically searching through drawers and papers when I finally remembered that I had left it in my other bag after my last trip. By the time I got to the airport, I had missed my flight by 20 minutes. The airline representative was sympathetic, but explained that the next available flight to London wouldn't depart until the following evening. At this point, I was feeling pretty defeated, but then she mentioned that there was a flight to Paris leaving in 2 hours, and I could catch a connecting train to London from there. It would actually get me to my destination only 3 hours later than originally planned. I thought, why not? This could turn into an adventure. So I booked the Paris flight and decided to embrace the chaos. The flight to Paris was actually lovely. I had upgraded to business class with my frequent flyer miles, so I was quite comfortable. When I arrived in Paris, I discovered that my connecting train had been delayed by 2 hours due to strikes. Instead of being frustrated, I decided to explore Paris for a few hours. I walked along the Seine, grabbed a coffee at a charming cafe, and even visited a small art gallery that I never would have seen otherwise. When I finally arrived in London, I was exhausted but surprisingly happy. The conference went well, and I had this amazing story to tell. Sometimes the best experiences come from the worst-laid plans. This travel story demonstrated several important narrative listening skills. Past tense variety. The story used simple past, I woke up, past perfect, there had been a power outage, and past continuous, I was rushing around, to show the sequence and relationship of events. Descriptive language. Words like frantically, defeated, chaotic, and charming helped paint the emotional and physical picture. Narrative structure. The story had a clear beginning, the problem, middle, complications, and end, resolution. Transition phrases. It all started, by the time, at this point, instead of being frustrated, helped organize the chronological flow. Key narrative vocabulary. Absolutely everything that could go wrong, a dramatic way to say many problems happened. Power outage, when electricity stops working temporarily. Throwing things into, packing quickly and carelessly. Frantically searching, looking for something in a panicked, hurried way. Sympathetic, understanding and caring about someone's problems. Feeling pretty defeated, feeling like you've lost or failed. Embrace the chaos, accept and go along with disorder or confusion. Frequent flyer miles, points earned from flying that can be used for upgrades or free flights. Strikes, when workers stop working to protest conditions or wages. Otherwise, in different circumstances, if things had been different. Let's check your understanding. Question 1. Why did the storyteller wake up late? The alarm didn't go off because there had been a power outage during the night. Question 2. What alternative did the airline representative suggest? Flying to Paris and taking a connecting train to London, which would only delay arrival by 3 hours. Question 3. Why was the train to London delayed? Due to strikes, workers protesting. Question 4. How did the storyteller spend the unexpected time in Paris? Walking along the Seine, having coffee at a cafe, and visiting an art gallery. Now, let's practice with a different type of story, someone describing a memorable childhood experience. This will include more emotional language and sensory descriptions. My childhood memory story used different narrative techniques. Sensory descriptions. The storyteller described smells, sounds, and physical sensations to make the story vivid. Emotional progression. The story showed how feelings changed over time, initial fear of chickens becoming confidence. Reflective language. The ending included lessons learned and meaning derived from the experience. Key descriptive vocabulary. Struck me, made a strong impression, was noticeable. Initially terrified, scared at first. Confidently, with assurance and self-belief. Enormous, very large. Identify, to recognize or distinguish. Ripe, ready to eat for fruits and vegetables. Fascinated by, very interested in. Tales, stories, especially about the past. Rhythm of farm life, the natural pace and routine of living on a farm. Satisfaction, feeling of accomplishment or contentment. Meaningful work, tasks that feel important and valuable. Quality time, time spent giving someone your full attention. Both stories showed how narratives use past tenses to sequence events, descriptive language to create atmosphere, and reflection to provide meaning. These skills help you understand everything from casual anecdotes to formal presentations. What an incredible journey we've taken together today. We've covered so much ground in developing your A2, B1 listening skills. Let's quickly review what we accomplished. In natural, everyday conversations, you learn to recognize contractions, connected speech, and the natural flow of planning discussions. In workplace English communication, you practiced understanding professional meetings, phone calls, and diplomatic language for expressing agreement and disagreement. In social situations and group conversations, you developed skills for following multiple speakers, understanding topic changes, and picking up on cultural references and humor. In problem-solving and complaint conversations, you learned the structure of complaint resolution, technical vocabulary, and systematic troubleshooting approaches. Finally, in stories and narratives, you practiced following longer spoken texts with varied past tenses, descriptive language, and chronological organization. The key insight from today's practice is that perfect listening isn't about understanding every single word. It's about developing strategic listening skills. Focusing on stressed words, using context clues, following organizational patterns, and understanding the speaker's purpose and emotion. Here's your homework for this week. Choose one conversation type we practiced today and find real examples to listen to. Watch English movies, listen to podcasts, or observe conversations around you. Notice how the patterns we discuss appear in authentic English. Also, practice the vocabulary we learned today by using it in your own speaking. The words and phrases from workplace, social, and problem-solving conversations will make your English sound more natural and fluent. Remember, moving from A2 to B1 level listening requires patience and consistent practice. Every time you listen to challenging English content, you're building the neural pathways that will make future listening easier and more automatic. Thank you for dedicating this hour to improving your English listening skills. I'm Mia, and I'm confident that with continued practice, you'll soon find yourself understanding any English conversation with ease. Keep listening, keep learning, and most importantly, keep believing in your progress. You're doing amazingly well.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to English Foundations Podcast. I'm Mia Johnson, and I'm so happy you decided to join me today for this very special episode. Today's episode is called Start Speaking English with Real Confidence, and it's designed specifically for A1 and A2 learners. That means beginners and elementary students who are just starting their English journey. I know that listening to English can feel scary when you're a beginner. Maybe you understand some words, but when people speak quickly, everything sounds confusing. That's completely normal. Every English learner feels this way at the beginning. But here's the good news. Today, I'm going to speak slowly and clearly. I'll repeat important words. I'll explain new vocabulary. And I'll give you lots of practice with simple, everyday conversations that you can use in real life. In the next hour, we'll practice 5 different areas. First, we'll learn basic greetings and introductions, how to say hello and tell people about yourself. Then we'll practice shopping conversations, buying food, clothes, and asking about prices. Next, we'll learn how to ask for directions when you're lost. After that, we'll practice talking about family and hobbies. Finally, we'll learn how to order food in a restaurant. Each section has simple conversations, easy vocabulary, and questions to check your understanding. Don't worry if you don't understand everything the first time. That's okay. You can listen again and again. Learning takes time, and every time you listen, you're getting better. Remember, the goal today isn't to be perfect. The goal is to feel more confident listening to English and to learn some useful phrases you can use every day. Are you ready to start this journey with me? Let's begin. Let's start with something very important: greetings and introductions. This is how you meet new people and start conversations in English. I'm going to speak very slowly and clearly. Listen to this conversation between 2 people meeting for the first time. Pay attention to how they greet each other and share basic information. Hello, my name is Sarah. What's your name? Hi, Sarah. Nice to meet you. My name is David. Nice to meet you too, David. Where are you from? I'm from Canada. I live in Toronto. What about you? Where are you from? I'm from Mexico. I live in Mexico City. Are you visiting here? Yes, I'm here for work. This is my first time in Mexico. It's very beautiful. Thank you. I hope you enjoy your visit. How long are you staying? I'm staying for 1 week. Do you have any recommendations for good restaurants? Oh yes, there's a great restaurant near here. It's called Casa Maria. The food is delicious. That sounds wonderful. Thank you for the recommendation. Excellent. Now let's look at what you just heard. This conversation had many useful phrases for meeting new people. Let me explain the important words and phrases. Hello and hi. These are greetings. Hello is a little more formal. Hi is more casual and friendly. My name is. This is how you tell someone your name. You can also say I'm. For example, I'm Sarah, or my name is Sarah. Nice to meet you. This is a polite phrase when you meet someone new. Always say this when someone introduces themselves. Where are you from? This question asks about your country or city. You answer with I'm from or I come from. I live in. This tells people what city you live in now. Are you visiting? This asks if someone is a tourist or just visiting the place. How long are you staying? This asks about time, how many days, weeks, or months someone will be in a place. Do you have any recommendations? This asks for suggestions about restaurants, places to visit, or things to do.
Now, let me ask you some questions about the conversation. Take your time to think. Question 1. What are the two people's names? Answer: Sarah and David. Question 2. Where is David from? Answer: David is from Canada. He lives in Toronto. Question 3. Why is David visiting Mexico? Answer: He's visiting for work. Question 4. How long will David stay? Answer: He will stay for 1 week. Question 5. What restaurant does Sarah recommend? Answer: Casa Maria. Great job. Now let's practice with another introduction conversation. This time, I'll speak a little faster, but still clearly. Excuse me, are you in the English class? Yes, I am. Are you a new student? Yes, this is my first day. I'm a little nervous. My name is Anna. Don't worry, Anna. Everyone is very nice here. I'm Tom. I'm from Germany. What about you? I'm from Brazil. I moved here last month for university. That's exciting. What are you studying? I'm studying business. I want to work in international companies. What about you? I'm studying computer science. I want to be a software engineer. That's interesting. How long have you been studying English? About 2 years. My English is still not perfect, but it's getting better every day. Your English sounds very good to me. I hope my English will improve quickly too. I'm sure it will. Do you want to sit together in class today? Yes, that would be great. Thank you for being so friendly. Perfect. This conversation showed how to meet classmates and talk about your studies. Let me teach you some new vocabulary. Excuse me, a polite way to get someone's attention or to interrupt. Are you in the? A way to ask if someone is part of a group or class. New student, someone who just started at a school. Nervous, feeling worried or anxious about something new. Don't worry, a phrase to help someone feel better or less nervous. I moved here. This means you changed your home from one place to another. What are you studying? A question about someone's academic subjects. International companies, businesses that work in many countries. How long have you been? A question about time. When did something start? Getting better, improving or becoming more skilled. Sounds good. This means something seems nice or acceptable. Improve quickly. Get better fast. Sit together. Share a table or be near each other. Friendly. Kind and nice to other people. These conversations show you how English speakers really talk when they meet new people. Practice these phrases, and you'll feel more confident introducing yourself. Now, let's practice something you'll need in everyday life: shopping. Whether you're buying food, clothes, or other items, these conversations will help you feel confident in stores. I'll speak slowly and clearly. Listen to this conversation in a clothing store. Pay attention to how the customer asks about sizes, colors, and prices. Excuse me, can you help me? I'm looking for a t-shirt. Of course. What size do you need? I think I need a medium. Do you have this t-shirt in blue? Let me check for you. Yes, we have medium in blue, red, and white. Which color do you prefer? I like the blue one. Can I try it on? Certainly. The fitting room is over there. Here's the blue t-shirt in medium. Thank you. Short pause to indicate time passing. I tried it on. It fits perfectly. How much does it cost? This t-shirt is $25. That's a good price. I'll take it. Do you accept credit cards? Yes, we accept cash and credit cards. Would you like a bag? Yes, please. And do you have a receipt? Of course. Here's your receipt and your bag. Thank you for shopping with us. Thank you for your help. Excellent. Let me explain the important shopping vocabulary you just heard. Can you help me? A polite way to ask for assistance from a shop worker. I'm looking for. This phrase tells the assistant what you want to buy. What size do you need? A question about clothing sizes: small, medium, large, extra large. Do you have this in? A way to ask about different colors or sizes. Which color do you prefer? The assistant is asking about your favorite color choice. Can I try it on? This asks if you can wear the clothes to see if they fit. Fitting room, the place in a store where you can try on clothes. It fits perfectly. This means the size is exactly right for your body. How much does it cost? A question about the price. I'll take it. This means you want to buy the item. Do you accept? A question about payment methods. Cash, credit cards, checks. Would you like a bag? The assistant is offering to put your purchase in a shopping bag. Receipt, a paper that shows what you bought and how much you paid. Have a great day, a friendly goodbye phrase. These shopping conversations will help you buy what you need with confidence. Now, let's learn something very important: how to ask for directions when you're lost or looking for a place. This is essential when you're in a new city or area. Let's listen to this conversation where someone is looking for a bank. Notice how they ask politely and how the local person gives clear directions. Excuse me, I'm sorry to bother you. Can you help me find the nearest bank? Of course, no problem at all. There's a bank just 2 blocks from here. 2 blocks? Which direction should I go? Go straight down this street for about 5 minutes. You'll see a big red building on your right. The bank is next to the red building. So I go straight, and the bank is next to a red building on the right? Exactly. You can't miss it. There's a big sign that says Citibank. Is it open now? It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Yes, most banks here are open until 5 p.m. on weekdays. Perfect. Thank you so much for your help. You're very kind. You're welcome. I hope you find it easily. Have a good day. You too. Thank you again. Great. Let me explain the important direction vocabulary. Excuse me, I'm sorry to bother you. A very polite way to start asking for help from a stranger. Can you help me find? A polite way to ask for directions. Nearest, the closest one. Nearest bank means the bank that is closest to where you are. Blocks. In cities, a block is the distance from one street to the next street. Which direction? This asks if you should go left, right, straight, or back. Go straight. Continue walking in the same direction. Don't turn left or right. On your right. On the right side as you walk. Next to, beside, or very close to something. You can't miss it. This means it's very easy to see or find. Weekdays: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. You're very kind. A nice way to thank someone for helping you. You're welcome. I hope you find it easily. Have a good day. You too. Thank you again. Great. Let me explain the important direction vocabulary. Do you know where? Another way to ask for directions. By foot. Walking, not driving or taking transportation. How to get there. This asks for the directions or route to a place. To the end of this street. Walk until the street finishes. Turn left, right, change direction to go left or right. Traffic light, the red, yellow, and green lights that control traffic. Across from, on the opposite side of the street from something. Got it. This means I understand or I got it. Best pizza in town, the most delicious pizza in the city. Pretty affordable, not expensive, reasonably priced. You've been very helpful, a polite way to thank someone for your assistance. Here are some useful direction phrases to remember. Go straight, continue in the same direction. Turn left, right, change direction. Next to, beside something, across from, on the opposite side, at the corner, where two streets meet, near, close to something, far from, not close to something, between, in the middle of two things. Practice these phrases and you'll never be lost for long. Warm, personal tone. Now, let's practice talking about family and hobbies. These are very common conversation topics when you meet new people or chat with friends. People love to share about their families and the things they enjoy doing. Listen to this conversation between two new friends getting to know each other. Tell me about your family. Do you have any brothers or sisters? Yes, I have one older brother and one younger sister. My brother is 28 and my sister is 20. What about you? I'm an only child, so no brothers or sisters, but I have many cousins. Are you close to your siblings? Yes, very close. We talk every week. My sister is still in university, studying medicine. My brother works as a teacher. That's nice. What do your parents do? My mother is a nurse and my father is an engineer. They both work very hard. Do you live with your parents? No, I moved out last year. I live in a small apartment near my work. I visit my parents every weekend, though. That sounds nice. What do you like to do in your free time? I love reading books and watching movies. I also enjoy cooking. What about you? What are your hobbies? I'm really into sports. I play tennis twice a week and I go to the gym. I also like photography. Photography is interesting. Do you take pictures of people or places? Mostly nature and landscapes. I love going to parks and mountains on weekends to take photos. That sounds relaxing and fun. Perfect. Let me explain the family and hobby vocabulary. Tell me about your family. A question asking someone to share information about their relatives. Brothers or sisters, male and female siblings. You can also say siblings to mean both. Older brother, a brother who is more years older than you. Younger sister, a sister who has fewer years than you. Only child, a person with no brothers or sisters. Cousins, the children of your aunts and uncles. Close to, having a good relationship with someone, talking often, caring about each other. Siblings, brothers and sisters together. What do your parents do? A question about their jobs or work. Moved out, left your parents' house to live independently. Free time, time when you're not working or studying. Hobbies, activities you do for fun in your free time. I'm really into. This means you really like something or are very interested in it. Twice a week, 2 times each week. Landscapes, pictures of nature, mountains, forests, rivers, etc. Relaxing, something that makes you feel calm and peaceful. Let's check your understanding of this conversation. Question 1. How many siblings does person B have? Answer: 2. 1 older brother and 1 younger sister. Question 2. What does person B's sister study? Answer: medicine. Question 3. What is person's brother's job? Answer: he's a teacher. Question 4. What are person A's hobbies? Answer: reading books, watching movies, and cooking. Question 5. How often does person B play tennis? Answer: twice a week. Great job! Now let's practice another conversation about weekend activities and hobbies. What are you doing this weekend? Any fun plans? Yes, on Saturday I'm going hiking with my friends. On Sunday I'll visit my grandmother. What about you? That sounds great. I love hiking too, but I don't do it very often. This weekend I'm planning to clean my apartment and do some gardening. Gardening is so nice. Do you grow vegetables or flowers? Both. I have tomatoes, carrots, and some beautiful roses. Gardening is very relaxing for me. I'd love to try gardening, but I live in an apartment with no garden. Maybe I can start with small plants inside. That's a great idea. You can grow herbs like basil and mint in your kitchen. They're easy to take care of. Really? I love cooking, so fresh herbs would be perfect. Do they need a lot of sunlight? Not too much. A kitchen window is usually enough. You should try it. I will. Thanks for the advice. Maybe we can go hiking together sometime. I'd love that. Let's plan something for next month. Excellent. Here's the new vocabulary about activities and interests. Any fun plans? A question asking about enjoyable activities someone will do. Going hiking, walking in nature, usually in mountains or forests. I don't do it very often. This means you do something sometimes, but not regularly. Planning to, intending to do something, making plans for the future. Gardening, growing plants, flowers, or vegetables as a hobby. Grow vegetables, plant and take care of food plants like tomatoes, carrots, etc. Roses, beautiful flowers that are often red, pink, or white. I'd love to try. This expresses interest in doing something new. Herbs, plants used for cooking, like basil, mint, oregano. Take care of, give attention to something, help it grow or stay healthy. Fresh herbs, herbs that are newly picked, not dried. Sunlight, light from the sun that plants need to grow. Advice, suggestions or recommendations from someone. Sometime, at some point in the future, but not a specific time. Let's plan something, a suggestion to organize an activity together. Here are common hobbies you can talk about. Sports, tennis, swimming, running, football, basketball. Creative hobbies, painting, drawing, photography, music. Writing hobbies, indoor activities, reading, cooking, watching movies, playing games. Outdoor activities, hiking, gardening, camping, fishing. Learning hobbies, languages, instruments, new skills. Practice talking about your own family and hobbies using these phrases. For our final segment, let's practice ordering food in a restaurant. This is something you'll need when traveling or eating out. I'll teach you polite ways to order, ask questions about the menu, and handle common restaurant situations. Listen to this conversation between a customer and a waiter in a casual restaurant. Good evening. Welcome to Mario's restaurant. How many people are in your party tonight? Good evening. Just one person, please. Table for one. Perfect. Right this way, please. Here's your table, and here's the menu. Can I start you with something to drink? Thank you. Could I have a glass of water, please? And maybe some time to look at the menu? Of course. Take your time. I'll bring your water right away. Here's your water. Are you ready to order, or do you need a few more minutes? I think I'm ready, but I have a question about the chicken pasta. Is it spicy? The chicken pasta has a mild tomato sauce. It's not spicy at all. It's actually one of our most popular dishes. That sounds perfect. I'll have the chicken pasta, please. Excellent choice. Would you like a salad with that? We have a house salad or Caesar salad. The house salad sounds good. What comes with it? The house salad has lettuce, tomatoes, cucumbers, and carrots with our special dressing. Perfect. I'll take the house salad too. Great. One chicken pasta and one house salad. Anything else for you tonight? That's all for now. Thank you. Wonderful. Your food will be ready in about 15 minutes. Excellent. Let me explain the restaurant vocabulary. How many people are in your party? The waiter is asking how many people will eat together. Table for one, a table for one person. You can also say table for two, table for four, etc. Right this way. Follow me. I'll show you to your table. Can I start you with something to drink? A polite way the waiter asks about beverages first. Could I have? A polite way to request something. Take your time. Don't hurry. You can think slowly. Are you ready to order? The waiter is asking if you know what food you want. I have a question about. A polite way to ask for information about menu items. Is it spicy? A question about whether food is hot, spicy, or mild. Mild, not spicy, gentle flavor. Most popular dishes. The foods that many customers order and enjoy. Excellent choice. The waiter is saying you picked something very good. Would you like with that? The waiter is suggesting additional items. What comes with it? A question asking what ingredients or sides are included. Special dressing, the restaurant's own sauce for salads. Perfect. I'll take the house salad too. Great. One chicken pasta and one house salad. Anything else for you tonight? That's all for now. Thank you. Wonderful. Your food will be ready in about 15 minutes. Let's check your understanding. Question 1. How many people is the customer ordering for? Answer, one person, just themselves. Question 2. What does the customer order to drink? Answer, a glass of water. Question 3. What main dish does the customer choose? Answer, chicken pasta. Question 4. Is the chicken pasta spicy? Answer, no, it has a mild tomato sauce. Question 5. How long will the food take? Answer, about 15 minutes. Perfect. Now let's practice the end of the meal conversation when the customer wants to pay. Mia, as waiter, checking on customer. How was everything? Did you enjoy your meal? Mia, as customer, satisfied. The pasta was excellent and the salad was very fresh. Mia, I'm so glad you enjoyed it. Would you like dessert tonight? We have chocolate cake and ice cream. The desserts sound tempting, but I'm quite full. Could I have the check, please? Of course, I'll bring your check right away. Here's your check. The total is $18.50. You can pay here at the table or at the front desk. I'll pay with a credit card. Is that okay? Absolutely. I'll bring the card machine to your table. Here you go. Just insert your card when you're ready. Thank you. The service was wonderful tonight. Thank you so much. We appreciate your business. Have a great evening. You too. Thank you for everything. Great. Here's the vocabulary for paying and ending the meal. How was everything? The waiter is asking if you liked your food. Did you enjoy your meal? Another way to ask if the food was good. Delicious. Very tasty. Excellent flavor. Fresh. Food that is new, not old. Tastes clean and good. Would you like dessert? An offer for sweet food after the main meal. Sound tempting. Seem attractive or interesting, but I'm quite full. My stomach is satisfied. I can't eat more food. Could I have the check? A request for the bill so you can pay. The total is the complete amount you need to pay. Front desk, the main counter area of the restaurant. Credit card, a payment card instead of cash. Card machine, the electronic device for credit card payments. Insert your card. Put your card into the machine. Thank you. The service was wonderful tonight. Thank you so much. We appreciate your business. Have a great evening. You too. Thank you for everything. Great. Here's useful restaurant phrases to remember. For ordering, I'll have the, to choose your food. Could I get? Polite request. What do you recommend? Asking for suggestions. Is this dish vegetarian? Asking about dietary needs. For during the meal, could I have more water? Requesting refills. This is delicious, complimenting the food. Excuse me. For paying, could I have the check, please? I'll pay with cash or card. Keep the change, if giving a tip. Thank you for the excellent service. Practice these restaurant conversations, and you'll feel confident eating out anywhere.
Congratulations! You've just completed a full hour of English listening practice. I'm so proud of you for staying with me through all 5 segments. Let's quickly review what we learned today. In greetings and introductions, you learned how to meet new people, share basic information about yourself, and ask polite questions about others. In shopping conversations, you practiced buying clothes and food, asking about prices and sizes, and using polite language in stores. In asking for directions, you learned how to ask for help when you're lost and understand the directions people give you. In family and hobbies, you practiced talking about your relatives and the activities you enjoy in your free time. And finally, in ordering food, you learned how to order meals in restaurants, ask questions about menu items, and pay for your food. These conversations represent real situations you'll encounter when using English in daily life. The vocabulary and phrases we practiced today will help you feel more confident in these situations. Remember, learning English takes time and practice. Don't worry if you didn't understand everything perfectly the first time. That's completely normal. The important thing is that you're practicing and improving every day. Here are some tips for continuing your English journey. First, practice these conversations out loud.
talk to yourself using the phrases we learned. This will help you remember them better. Second, listen to this episode again. Each time you listen, you'll understand more and notice new details. Third, try to use these phrases in real life. Even if you make mistakes, people will appreciate your effort to communicate in English. Fourth, be patient with yourself. Every English learner makes mistakes, and that's how we learn. Your homework this week is to choose 3 phrases from today's episode and practice using them. Maybe practice introducing yourself, asking for directions, or ordering food. Thank you for spending this hour with me improving your English. I'm Mia, and I believe in your ability to speak English with confidence. Keep practicing, stay positive, and remember, every day you practice, you're getting better. See you next time.